What's up, guys? It's me, Matt, here with my brother Ryan, and the Dodgers are currently rolling, coming off of back-to-back massive series wins against the Orioles and the Diamondbacks. And it looks like the lineup is getting hot just in time for October. The bullpen has been solid recently, but what about the starting pitching? Now, going into the year, this was a massive strength for the team, but as of today, the rotation we expected at this point goes like this: it's Glasnow hurt, Yoshi hurt, Miller's been bad, Bueller's been bad, Kershaw hurt, and Stone, who is the only guy I really feel good about considering, his role on this team. Now, obviously, we do have Flaherty now, but this is still a big concern for the team. It's not because they are bad, it's just because of injuries. This postseason run kind of relies on if Glasnow and Yoshi can come back, and given the fact that it's September and neither of them are back, it doesn't feel good. However, if they do come back fully healthy, no limitations, this turns it from a concern to an instant strength because a rotation of Glasnow, Yoshi, Flaherty, and Stone is elite. So there's a lot of talent, but also a lot of injuries. So, how are you feeling about the pitching? And do you think that both Glasnow and Yoshi will be back for October?
Yeah, I don't. Well, I think Yoshi will be. He's already throwing. Glass now. I Every new update makes me feel like he's might be done for the season. Even like though he's been kind of playing catch again, it's still right now he would have to start a genuine throwing progression now to have any start before the playoffs start. And I don't know if I want to throw him in just into the playoffs because Yoshi is probably going to be stretched out to about 5-ish, 6-ish innings. Honestly, I don't know how deep they would let him into the game anyway, even if he was fully stretched out. But like, yeah, like you said, right now, our one, technically Flaherty, but like, or it's Flaherty and Stone, top two. And then we have Walker and Bobby, which doesn't inspire hope, but admittedly, they have been well, I should say much better. They've looked more hopeful their last two starts, respectively. So maybe you can see momentum building there. They're both pitching this series against the Angels, so we'll see how that goes. And then it's Knack probably because Robleski really wore it and the start against the D-backs. Like I would feel not great to say the least going into the playoffs with this rotation. And you're right in the sense that it would be a strength if Glasnow and Yama are healthy, but Glasnow won't be healthy. I mean, he might pitch, but he's not going to be. It's very unlikely, I should say, that he's going to be ace level, health, feeling great, 12 strikeouts like type stuff. If he comes back, I think it's to essentially be a good opener, like 4 innings, 5 innings. If you can get through it, just let it eat, and then I don't know. The bullpen, I think, is really going to have to carry. It's been carrying all year, and with that, we've seen aside from the two games where the starting pitchers threw like 5 innings combined, like we've seen them be very good. And I think that is gonna be the case. That's why I think Yamamoto, even if he were stretched out to like just full go, I think it's like 5 innings, try to get 15 outs from a starting pitcher, and then give it to a stable of 8 guys that I think if we're like we go in rested and healthy, I'm confident in every single one of the bullpen guys we have. So starting pitching can be a strength to answer like your specific question, but it's more likely that it's something where they're like, please just give me 15 outs, and we'll give the ball to a new guy every inning, and they've all been dominant.
Yeah, it really sucks, being in this position, which feels like every year we're in this position where our pitchers are hurt. Obviously Kershaw's gone. I think it's tough to like rely on Bobby Miller saying you're getting the ball in the road start, considering how he's pitched. But he is very talented, and he has looked better. Like legit, he has looked better. He looked so bad in the beginning, and maybe he's just starting to to come into his own. One of those guys is gonna have to pitch, even if, like you said, if Yamamoto gets the ball game one, if he's back, he's healthy. There's no Glass now. You can still salvage like an okay rotation with like Yamamoto. Either of those guys are an ace. So if it's Yamamoto, that's an ace. Feel good about him game one. Flaherty is still a solid number two. I prefer him as a three, but he's a solid number two. Stone has been kind of up and down, or he's been consistently good. He just has these blow up starts. And so if he's the game three starter, it's like okay, that four spot, it's going to be a battle. If the playoffs for tomorrow, we're facing the Diamondbacks. Would you give it to Bueller or Miller? Game 4 start on the road.
This is a cop out, but my genuine answer is opener, maybe Walker for 2 innings, and then bullpen. Because usually after game 4, and this is all kind of strategy, you have a day off, so you can get bullpen rest. I don't want to go into the game expecting Walker or Bobby to make a real start. Or maybe you don't do opener, but like if right now I'm going Walker just because he has the at least like we know who what he is in the playoffs, and his stuff is better than it was in 22 or in 21, even in like later in the playoffs. But he's not the same pitcher, so maybe as like he kind of rounds into shape, this is projection. So just even now, I would trust him more to at least know how to get outs, because when he gets touched up, they're not homers, and he's not. Well, I guess he is kind of walking people, but like Bobby, it's like he can't get anyone out. Walker, it's like it's 2 strikes. He should be getting like even if it's weak contact, like he's not putting people away, but it's not like doesn't feel dangerous every time he pitches. It's not doesn't feel great, but Bobby, it's like he might give up 7 runs this inning, and I just don't really want that feeling. And I don't like that kind of goes into not my next point, but just the thought about Bobby. I don't know if he has a role on this team for the playoffs. I don't really even want him to have. Like if Walker does, I wouldn't be upset, and I think that's where my thoughts at.
Yeah, and it's the injuries. What the injuries do is it makes us have to rely on those two guys,
Yeah,
which right now you really wouldn't want to. And it's more than two guys. That River Ryan injury was really killer. I mean, he
yeah.
came up and started killing it, and I felt good about the rotation. But he goes down. Obviously, Glass now Yoshi Kershaw goes down. It's in a tough spot right now. Because the other thing we're not mentioning, Gavin Stone's never pitched in the playoffs. So I mean, we saw what happened to Bobby last year against the Diamondbacks. Saw what happened to Bueller against the Braves in 2018. That's a tough thing to do to have him to go on the road, make your first postseason start. So
Yeah,
really, just a lot of question marks in this rotation right now.
I will say to
And
that point. Sorry, just about going on the road. Would you have Stone pitch game 2? Say Yama and Glasnow are not available. Would you have Stone go game 2? Wait, actually
no Yama
no.
or
Excuse me. No, say Yama is one of the two, not both of them, are available. So they're going game 1, obviously. And then you have Flaherty and Stone. We're going to have home field. Would you rather have Stone go home field? Like, make them a little more comfortable and have Flaherty go game 3? Or would you would you just keep the two best as a top two?
honestly, I would go Stone game two because NLDS, yeah, I'd go Stone game two. Maybe NLCS, you'll have days off. You go back to Flaherty two,
Yeah.
100% because Stone feels at home. At Dodger Stadium. I feel like most of his blow up starts are on the road,
I'm going to
and
look up those
Flaherty
stats, yeah.
just got to the Dodgers. So I mean, put him on the road. Whatever. I think he'll do better. He'll do better on the road than Stone. For a rookie start, get him as comfortable as he can be. Obviously, that's going to be at Dodger Stadium. So yeah, I would actually do that.
Yeah, just looking at his splits right now, home and away. Home, actually, they're pretty even. OPS against is about 300 points less. ERA at home is 310. ERA away is 399. I think it also just shows how good he's been. He's had these blow up starts, and his overall ERA is still only 3.5. Like he's just been good. I wouldn't feel crazy confident just because of the blow up starts, but I mean, I don't think he's gonna lose you the game. It feels weird because his most recent start is against a team that we probably will play in the playoffs, of the Diamondbacks. So it's like it's not the confidence isn't really there, but yeah, I don't know. I like Stone, and I would for sure. Me too. I would have him game 2 instead of game 3 if he needs to go in the first 3 games.
Yeah. So last thing, let's say Glasnow doesn't make it back. Yoshi goes back. We just talked about Yoshi, Stone, Flaherty, and then the Bueller Bobby combo. That's the rotation. Lineup stays healthy. Bullpen stays healthy. Bruzar's back. Do you think that team? Do you think the rotation is enough of a question mark to like just not allow us to win the World Series? Like last year, that rotation could not win the World Series. It just couldn't. Do you think that rotation I just named is good enough to win the World Series?
Yes, but it's more of a situational yes as opposed to like say in 2015 when I mean, obviously we got eliminated first round, but it was prime Kershaw, prime Zach Greinke, and like good Alex Wood and good Ryu. Like that was a rotation where you're like that should be the strength they could carry us. It didn't, So it's a weird example, but like instead of having two absolutely dominant, or I guess 2019 Astros with Verlander, Cole, and Greinke, which is also crazy thinking about, and they also didn't win, which is funny. But like that's like strength, and you have an offense that could get timely hits. I think it's going to be the opposite. Starters need to not blow games up, like just bare minimum, obviously. I think like if Flaherty gives you 6 inning shutout, I'm not going to be surprised. If Stone gives you that, I won't be surprised. So that's why I think that's still possible. Like last year, Bobby Miller, Lance Lynn, and Clayton Kershaw with a shoulder surgery waiting to happen. Like that's nothing. That's not what this rotation is to me. I think there's upside to the rotation, especially if we can get some of our guys back. And I also think our bullpen this year is much stronger than last year as well. Like our bullpen is legitimately great. And it's actually no, it's not even weird. I think people over exaggerate the struggles a little bit just because bullpen struggles are always going to feel more impactful because it's in big moments at every single time. And some of it is annoying, but like especially with Joe Kelly out of the equation, there's nobody I don't feel good about. So yeah, I think this is definitely enough, especially the way the offense is clicking.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, we all know this World Series will be won by Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Teos, the whole lineup. Those guys need to come in clutch and just not fall off the face of the earth. But I mean, obviously, this is a pitching video, so that to me, I agree. The pitching has to be enough. If you can get one like stellar performance, 6 inning shutout from any of the four guys, one of those is series. Every other game, there's no blow ups, and you just get enough outs to get it to the bullpen. The offense does its job to get a lead. I will feel good about it. The other thing is the offense really has they fight like they come back in games.
Yeah.
So the job for the rotation is don't blow games, just keep us in the games. The bullpen and the lineup will win it. Just don't blow it. That's the way I feel about this.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you guys stick around. We're going to be talking more Dodger baseball, especially get into the playoffs. We're going to do some more like individual, kind of how we did starting rotation here. We're going to look at more position groups and stuff, see how we fare. Injury updates will be coming, not just for us, for all of us. The Glass Onion news, we're waiting on bated breath. Like a lot of big stuff happening. We had a major series win. I personally was never worried about the division, but now after showing that we reestablished against the Diamondbacks, I'm especially confident. I think we're going to go into the playoffs as the number one seed, and very likely going to be the Diamondbacks or the Padres. So gearing up for that. We'll be back with a lot more stuff. Go Dodgers.